am here because I saw the video about sharing stories of horses that were important to you, and I wanted to come on here to talk about Muñeco, my pony. He has been on this channel before. He has his own little playlist, but he did die back in June of 2022, I believe. Because just of old age. He was 35. He lived a very long and happy life, and it was just his time. But I wanted to come on here and just share some stories about him because he was such a special part of my life. He really created a very safe space for me to be in when I was growing up, through teenage years, which can be interesting. So he really held a space where I could just be a kid when I was going through anything, really stressful things, exams, whatever it was. Our favorite thing to do together was to go out for rides in the countryside bareback, and that was just my happy place growing up, really. And I will forever remember him, and I so often do go back to those memories. He very often comes to me in dreams and we're galloping around the hills and fields. He meant a lot to me, and I know he meant a lot to a lot of people. He wasn't my first pony. My first pony was a little Shetland pony called Tony, but when I really started to get more into horses, it was with Muñeco. He was a Galician pony, and we just had so much fun together. He loved jumping, and it was with him really that I kind of got into that, and we had a lot. My mum helped me set up jumps kind of around our house, and we would have this little route so that when we'd come back from our bareback rides we would go and do these jumps, and just he loved it so much that I loved it, and it was just so fun. I remember his nickname was Snack and Jog because whenever we'd go out with a group of horses, he was always at the back anyway because he had shorter legs, but being a pony he was greedy, so he would stop to eat grass on the side of the track, and I most of the time couldn't stop him, so he would stop, eat, and then when he realized he was getting left behind he would jog to catch up, so he was called Snack and Jog. And one of the big memories I have with him, apart from just generally cantering around bareback with him, was the first time I went. Where we live is next to a mountain where at the top there are windmills, and it was this big ride out with the horses to go up to the windmills and back. I think if I remember correctly, I think it was about a 4.5 hour round trip. And I'd never been out on a horse for that long, and I was adamant I wanted to do it. And bless us, at the back of the group of horses, him doing a snack and jog, me wondering why I was doing this because it was such a long ride and feeling so sore and fed up because he kept stopping, and yeah, I was so little. It was an experience, and I loved doing it with him. Looking back on it now, at the time I remember it being a bit much, but I was doing it with him, and that's what mattered really. But probably our favorite thing to do would be, our neighbor had an orchard, and my favorite fruit is pomegranate, so I would go round at the end of our ride and go past the trees with him and grab the fruit and put them in my top that I'd fold up and put them in there, and then I'd keep riding them with one hand with all my pomegranates. I remember the first time I tried to do that, it wasn't that successful because I can't remember what happened, but basically he ended up taking off through the orchard. I went back, so I was essentially lying on his back and ended up getting scraped all on my front. But he taught me so much. I had so many good times with him. I had so many incredible memories that, like I said, I still to this day look back on and smile when I think of them. he really gave me such an amazing childhood. We would go out camping, and I'd take this long rope to tie him up on, and and I'd put all my tent stuff on his back, and my friend we'd go together with her pony, and it was just such an adventure. And being able to grow up with him was so special, and I still have, like I said, I still think about him, and my heart still sings when I think of him and the memories that we had together. He was such a special pony. He was known to be a little bit grumpy, but he had his reasons, so that was fine. And that was just an extra thing that he taught you, how to respect his space and to know when enough was enough. And yeah, he was just amazing. So thank you, Muñeco.